watching this unfold here over the past several hours. We cut into program live to show it to you. LMPD tonight asking people to stay away from the protests, which have lingered from 2nd Street to 6th Street. Now, dramatically different live look at 6th and Jefferson right now as opposed to a little over an hour ago when we had some tense situations. We had people throwing things at police cars, standing in front of police cars, kicking police cars, trying to get police to do something, and police were just literally driving away, didn't want to do anything to cause any kind of confrontation.
Yeah, there you go. My goodness, I didn't even see this part.
Yeah, this was, they're rocking the vehicle, trying to overturn it. And again, Shannon, what is the odd thing about that scene? Not a single police officer around, trying, enforcing the law, trying to stop them from doing that. They were just allowed to just keep doing it. This is right at the hub when it comes to justice in our town. This is the Justice Corner. This is where protests happen. This is where marches start and end. And this is where the justice system deals with all kinds of cases. And of course, justice is the key issue right now. In the Breonna Taylor case, a couple of months after it happened, really not a lot of publicity when it happened because of the pandemic, but now getting a lot of attention as well nationally because you know the story by now. You had a warrant to be served on this home. It was a no-knock warrant, but the police officers contend that they knocked and they repeatedly said police warrant. You heard Kenneth Walker's side of the story inside saying he heard the knocks and they had time to get up and get dressed, but they did not hear the words police. He feared it was someone trying to break into his place, so he, legal firearm owner, fired into him, hitting a police officer, and then the police officers unloading then, and him ducking down, and Breonna Taylor getting hit and dying right there in the scene. We've got some video now of, and you can listen in here, 6th and Jefferson, about an hour ago, gunshots and multiple injuries. Okay, remember when we heard that earlier in our live coverage, we did not know what that was. MetroSafe now confirms those were gunshots. That was at 6th and Jefferson. You could hear somebody in the audio there say, we have gunshots, yes. Multiple injuries. That is the shooting that then resulted in the multiple injuries and everybody running. That's what caused it. That happened at 11:28 tonight, just about an hour ago. So we're still trying to get word on the victims and how many and how serious their injuries are. But you can imagine being in a crowd like that, whether you're the police officer or in the massive crowd of protesters, and you hear gunshots go off like that,
that's
loud
terrifying.
like that is terrifying and chilling.
More local now with breaking news happening now. This is Wave 3 News.
Protests all over the country tonight, all over Louisville. From New Lou to the Hall of Justice, we are following the masses of people calling for justice after the death of Breonna Taylor. Good evening, I'm John Boel.
And I'm Shannon Kogan. Thanks so much for joining us. We're breaking into regular programming because we want to show you what is taking place right now.
Police saying that because there were people shot, an incident that they knew of, they deployed the tear gas. Then they had the windows broken and buildings and car windows and shots fired into the courthouse. That is something we did not know last night in our 2.5 hours of coverage late at night. Shots fired into LMPD, shots fired into buildings, graffiti. They even graffitied up the firefighters' memorial.
Right now we're behind the line.
Okay.
Okay, well, you keep going and go where you got to go, and that's fine with us.
Okay.
We got plenty of time here.
Are you okay?
I'm getting shot. I'm getting
Katie, are you okay?
rubber bullets. Rubber bullets. It's okay. It's those pepper bullets. It's those pepper bullets.
Who are they aiming that at?
Nice shooting at the photographer.
At us, like directly at us. Directly.
Why are they doing that?
He's shooting at our crew.
I don't know.
Do they not know that? Obviously, they see the camera.
Right. They're telling us to move now, I guess farther away.
Well, I'm sure if they would have just said move, you would have done so.
You moved exactly where they told you to go, though. I mean, they pushed you to a certain spot.
Exactly.
So
Are you
I don't
okay?
understand. I don't understand what you did wrong. You guys
We
okay?
were behind their line. Yeah, we're fine. James got a little bit of it. But I guess we were behind their line, I guess a little too close for comfort.
Okay, so we just had the odd situation here. I've never seen anything like that before. We're looking through James's camera as the officer is is aiming directly into the lens of our camera. So it looks, we just got a bird's eye view of what it looks like to get shot at there by a police officer. Now, how many times did he hit James?
A bunch of times. That was probably like 5 or 6 times. Right, James? Yeah.
Okay, that's special advisor to the chief, Jessie Halliday, trying to answer some questions, some of the things she said tonight. The challenges tonight, larger area of protesters are dealing with. Things are escalating here at this hour at 10:39 p.m. on a Friday. Property damage, lots and lots of property damage issues here. You've seen some live pictures, people smashing out windows. They've had smoke bombs going off, small fires, things like that. And she says they're convinced most of the troublemakers are not Louisvillians. As for the question that's starting to go viral here, why were they shooting at our reporter and then turning and reloading and firing on our photographer after, and this is the key point, after we were clearly following their directions as to where to go, and you got to see that and witness that live on TV. Literally following their directions about where to go, and then they turn and fire on them. Just talked to our boss here that we would like an answer. We did not get an answer right there in that little press conference Jessie had. Here's the video again as he's firing these pepper balls.
Occasionally, someone would toss something over, and I think in this, there's
some tear gas, and that's going to change things dramatically. They lob in a couple of tear gas canisters, and it makes them flee very, very fast. Okay, that's one scene we've seen repeated over and over tonight. Another one we've seen is just straight up smashing out windows brazenly. Here's a guy, look at this, got his hammer with him. He was just going window pane to window pane, turned around, at one point saw our camera trained on him. It's like, whatever.
Well, you can't determine, there's no way you would ever be able to know who that person is.
People are now see them in and out of the T-Mobile.
Yeah, we're getting live looting on television right here. This is live looting.
Everything is already taken out of it, yep.
Yeah, they're just going in.
So every single thing, yeah, cleared out.
It's cleared out completely.
Now we're at midnight, and it's getting more dangerous out there. And the background of her live shots, it looks like kind of like a scene out of The Purge at times. It's just people coming and going and just robbing and smashing and committing acts of violence and rioting.
Well, to your point about where are police, we hear Felicia there say that she hadn't seen any police. I did hear from an officer that was incredibly upset.
And we are now into our fourth hour of coverage of this here tonight. And I just got my first chance to check out email and social media attempts to talk to me. And the number one response I'm getting by people as they're watching this here on Wave 3 is, where is the mayor and the police chief in this? And the number one question asked of the police department via social media, according to Jessie and Lamont here just a short time ago, is, why doesn't the police department shut this down? Why are they allowing these people to go up and down and do to this business owner and others at Eddie Merlot what we've seen? Natalia, do you know the answer to that? Shannon, let's think about what we actually saw tonight. Some of the things we saw. You talk about surreal. We saw people roaming the streets of Louisville in small groups and large and doing literally whatever they wanted to. Lobbing Molotov cocktails, smashing out windows, looting stores. We saw a police officer turn and fire on a media crew with marked vests on, doing exactly what they were to. We saw some surreal scenes tonight, from both the criminal activity and the violence activity to even the police and the media.
More local now, with breaking news happening now. This is Wave 3 News.
The city says what happened to Breonna Taylor 194 days ago in Louisville is worth $12 million to her family. In about a half an hour, we're going to find out if what happened to Breonna Taylor all those months ago is going to result in any criminal charges against the police officers involved. Good afternoon. Welcome into our coverage here on Wave 3 News on Decision Day. I'm John Boel.
And I'm Shannon Kogan.
So one of the interesting things about this is there has been such a lack of information. You know, the other big thing that's going to happen today, in addition to finding out whether or not there are criminal charges found, is we're going to get the facts. That's what we've been waiting on here since March 13th. This story actually was buried in large part because of when it happened. It happened on March 13th. If you remember back to that day, that was the big day really of the launch of the coronavirus fear in our country. That was the day President Trump went on and had all of his travel restrictions, etc. We had this story on the air, but there was really not anything mentioned about it, no protest. There were really no protests in this case until all the way fast forward to the death of George Floyd. So there you have it. No other true bills, just 3 counts assessed against Brett Hankison, wanton endangerment, first degree. 2 of the 3 counts for Breonna Taylor's apartment that he shot into from the outside of the building that we've shown you here on Wave 3 News, all the casings, and the 3rd count into the neighboring apartment that we've also shown you that almost hit the people inside there. Wanton endangerment first, showing extreme indifference to human life by statute when he wantonly shot into an apartment.
So you're looking live right now at Jefferson Square Park. This is a live picture where you see everyone looking at their phones, getting the latest information.
What do you say to the average person out there, one of the people who we see wiping away tears, who just heard a $12 million payout, not admitting any wrongdoing, but come on, $12 million payout to the family, and yet criminally, all we have is a couple of wanton endangerment counts for the guy who shot outside? How do you square that? Let's take you first into the Highlands with one of the very first protest marches that took off from Broadway. Watch this carefully. Right here, police go in. Somebody's messing with a car right back there where some things hit the pavement. I don't know if that's tear gas or not, but then boom, they move in and tackle somebody and then move past that person. We don't know what that was all about, but it was some type of altercation around the car. There's a second person trying to kick back as they take him down. Now, also interesting, what happened to NBC's Gabe Gutierrez, because we're an NBC affiliate, we can see what is going on with NBC. Watch this a little bit. This is not that long ago. This is NBC walking around live with their crew, getting in position for nightly news. And this got pretty ugly. If you're just getting home, as we take you around for some live looks as to what's going on downtown, if you're just getting home, some of the key things unveiled today, it was a lot of the same information that we've been reporting, but some of the key differences, the Attorney General said the evidence shows that the officers knocked and they announced themselves when they got there. That was according to at least one witness who was close by, heard the police say, corroborate John Mattingly's thing that we said police like 6 different times when we were here. 10 shots fired from Brett Hankison, 16 shots fired from Miles Cosgrove, 6 shots from John Mattingly. And it was the 10 shots that Brett Hankison fired that got him indicted for wanton endangerment, but not for anything he did when it came to Breonna Taylor. Those shots deemed to be justified use of force. It was him wildly shooting into other apartments that got him then indicted for wanton endangerment.
This is Wave 3 News.
Breaking news update as we get closer to 11 o'clock along with Shannon Kogan. I'm John Boel. Decision day has turned into division day. Lots of arrests this evening. 2 officers shot. Fortunately, they're in stable condition. We'll get to more of that in a moment. But we want to show you as we approach the top of the hour here and almost 2 hours after the curfew took effect, the first of 3 days worth of curfews from 9 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. Some live pictures here. This is Jefferson Square, renamed Injustice Square by the protesters. You can see the armada of police officers lining all the way around.
This is Wave 3 News.
As the city deals with chaos tonight in the wake of the Breonna Taylor grand jury decision, we've been monitoring a dangerous situation. Several blocks from the heart of the protest tonight, officers opened fire upon, 2 of them wounded. This is Wave 3 News at 11. I'm John Boel.
And I'm Shannon Kogan. This is video of that shooting from LMP.